over.
What's going on, guys? And we're back with the Davis Sports Feud, and I got my buddy Corey Sparks here.
Crossed up, definitely pushed by Paul George, but everything's a push these days.
I just don't think this offense is going to work very well, especially under a defensive coach like Robert.
But I would still probably take like Najee Harris over one of the wide receivers.
All right. What is going on, everybody? It's the Davis Sports Feud. Shockingly missing Kyle Davis for now. He will be joining us later. But for the Davis Sports Feud, it's me, Tyler Wonky, and next to me, as always, Tebow.
I'm usually on top of me, but you know, hey,
yeah, well,
it's cool. I'm good. I'm here.
At least you're getting used to it.
Yeah, it's what I prefer. I'm really happy not to be doing this from a car. Last week, we were good for about 20 minutes. And then, you get in the middle of Kentucky and everything falls apart. But
right. Well,
whatever.
Shit happens. We all know that shit falls apart in Kentucky, right? That's just like the story of the story.
Yep. Kentucky basketball, Louisville basketball. That's all I got there. It's really
I was about to say, I thought you were going somewhere else.
I don't know. I went there once. They have a really nice, like, Louisville Slugger bats. Actually, kind of cool. They have like one little strip, 80 different like distilleries, and like Louisville Slugger bats. It's a great little time.
Oh, for some reason, I thought you were talking about like the animal bats. I'm like, like does Bruce Wayne live in Kentucky now or something?
Oh yeah,
bats. Well, anyways, guys, this is a sports podcast where me, this guy, and Kyle Davis, who is not currently pictured, talk about sports, various sports, all kinds of sports, everything involved in the world of sports. We cannot do this without you guys, so don't forget, like, subscribe, share, tell a close friend about how awesome we are.
And if
we
you
would
think
always
we suck,
appreciate the help.
And if you think we suck, don't say shit.
Yeah.
Just
leave
like,
a 5-star review and tell
anything.
us how much we suck. Like,
yeah,
it's
I'll read it. If you leave any kind of review on our Apple Podcasts or any
Spotify
rating
or
podcast,
Facebook,
I will read them.
Absolutely.
On live show.
Yep. So leave some really nasty crap for T-Bone to read.
Yeah, about me. I would love, like mean tweets like on late night. Me, I'll do it.
All right. Well, the plan for this episode today is we are going to be talking about week 5?
Week 5 recap going into week 6, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Week 5 going into week 6. And boy, not just, what actually happened on the field, but a lot has been happening off the field in the world of the NFL this past week. And I can't wait to get to that later because I definitely want to hear Kyle Davis's view on some of the big news stories that broke yesterday during Monday Night Football specifically.
Someone basically said, "Hey, Urban, hold my beer. Watch this," which I respect, but cannot condone. So that was wild. I mean,
I kept seeing memes today where it's like Urban Meyer. It's like, all right, guys, I know I screwed up, but have you seen John Gruden?
Right. So it's like I think I saw one of like Tekashi 6ix9ine. And it was Urban Meyer's face saying, like, yeah, they're over there. Like, did you hear about John Gruden trying to get out of it? I was like, bro, that shit's funny.
Yo, I honestly, I was like watching Seinfeld. But I picked up Seinfeld for some weird reason. And like right as I started watching the show, the news broke. And I'm like, crap, I'm going to be on Twitter for the next 2 hours looking at memes about this, aren't I?
Is that when you were texting our group?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, no, I was confused because I saw that more crap was
rumors.
leaked about him. I'm like, oh yeah, he's done. He's gotta be fired soon. And then you said he quit. I thought you were fucking with me. Like,
no, he said I'm out. You can't fire me if I quit. Well, you can't quit. You're fired.
He basically I teach sports history, and I essentially told my students today that hey, he pulled a Richard Nixon. He's like, you can't fire me if I quit first.
Right.
So. Yeah, totally. So, I mean, we'll dive more into that story later.
Yeah, we want to wait for Kyle to get here and talk about that a little bit more. So, I'm just gonna quick confirm this since of last week. We're both on ESPN scoreboard.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So I see the Thursday game first, and then because I have the Eagles saved, the Eagles game is first.
Then do you have Jets Packers after that?
Well, I have Jets Falcons.
I meant the Jets game and then the Packers game.
Oh, Jets. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can do that. We'll do the Eagles game second, and then I think order should be normal then.
Perfect. Sounds like
All
a plan
right.
to me. All right. So you want to take Thursday?
Yeah, I'll take Thursday. LA Rams take down Seattle 26-17. It was. I mean, it was a good game. I mean, I don't think
The
we
matchup
learned.
was better on paper than the game ended.
Yeah, like it. You know, this was a much better game 2 years ago than it was. Like, I mean, it was a close game. We had a couple stinkers. I think the week before we had Jacksonville, Cincinnati. So at least you had like elite players. You had Matt Stafford, a high-powered offense in the Rams. Seahawks, well coached. Russell Wilson, is he going to cook? Whatever.
Yep.
I mean, Robert Woods finally came alive. I think that's the biggest takeaway.
For fantasy owners, for sure.
Right. Seattle moves to 4-1. Seattle 2-3, which I don't think many people were picking the Seahawks.
No, I don't think so either. And now, let's be honest, no one's going to be picking the Seahawks for the foreseeable future because the biggest story of that game is obviously Russell Wilson going down and requiring surgery that's going to keep him out for several weeks. So
Geno Smith looked great.
Yeah, whether Seahawks fans like it or not, Geno Smith is their quarterback for the next several weeks, and I'm really glad. Remember how I told you last week that a guy at my work offered me Tyler Lockett and Brandon Ayuk for Terry McLaurin? Boy, am I happy I did not take that trade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, man.
Yeah, I mean, guys, Geno Smith got fired by the Jets. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all you really need to know. You got fired by the Jets. How bad do you have to be?
I'm still amazed.
Who knows?
I'm still amazed at that draft that Geno Smith came out, like, where it was like the worst quarterback draft of all time, and like he was the highest taken quarterback in that draft in what, like the 20s?
Wasn't that wasn't that the Christian Ponder draft?
No,
that was also a bad draft.
Oh yeah, because that was Ponder, and then
he was Ponder was at like 10 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a couple bad quarterback drafts.
Yeah. But I feel like lately there haven't been a lot because there's just there's so much good quarterback talent coming out. 2013 draft was Geno Smith.
Yep.
Yep, because that was Eric Fisher going number 1.
Oh, jeez.
EJ Manuel was the other quarterback taken. I think he was taken first.
Oh my
Yep,
goodness.
Buffalo Bills took him at 16. And then Geno Smith was not taken until round 2, pick 39.
Oh my goodness.
For some reason, why was I thinking he was the first quarterback taken? I don't remember EJ Manuel being taken first.
No, now that you mentioned it, I vaguely remember it. That might have been when they had Fitzpatrick.
It might have been.
So, I mean,
and he was a placeholder then, so
yeah.
All
right, next game, Eagles.
Yep. So my Philadelphia Eagles went into no, I'm sorry, it was at home. The Eagles in a must-win game defeated the Carolina Panthers minus Christian McCaffrey by 21-18. For most of the game, Jalen Hurts did not look good, and then just came alive in the fourth quarter, led his team on a great drive down the field to score. And overall, I'm getting more impressed with this Eagles team, even though they have had some stinkers. The stinkers are against good teams. Like, I just hate to admit it, but I think the Cowboys might actually be a good team this year. And
it hurts us all. It truly hurts us all.
It really does. So whether this Eagles team is playoff bound, I'm not quite sure, nor am I not quite sure I want them to be, because honestly, at this point, I'm just like, the Colts stink, the Dolphins stink. If we stink it up too, we get like 3 top 10 picks out of this, even though I doubt that if it's going to be a top 10 pick from the Colts, they're just going to let the Eagles have it. They'll probably sit Wentz before that. But it was an impressive win and a win they needed really, really bad. The Panthers are showing that they are struggling really badly in the second half, and they need to figure that out real quick. Otherwise, that nice start for them is going to go down the tubes rather quickly when they start facing some good teams. Good for Chuba Hubbard, too. Over 100 yards rushing in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a sneaky good game. A game by 3. Both teams were, hey, you got to make a statement. I think Carolina played well enough that you can't, like, You're not saying, "Oh, Sam Darnold sucks" or Chuba Hubbard can't fill in. Like, we all know that you can't just replace Christian McCaffrey. You said it last week. Hubbard is. I mean, I thought he was the best pickup for Carolina. They picked up. I mean, at one point, he's supposed to be the number one running back taken in the draft,
right
before his senior season.
Najee.
Yeah. So, I still have high hopes because I still think their defense is pretty solid. I mean,
Panthers or Eagles?
The Panthers defense.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 points in the first half, 15 in the second half. Neither are awful numbers. Like 6 points and a half is really good. So, like you said, their first half was good, second half kind of struggled. But I don't know.
Ideally, like if you're thinking like I'm a defensive coordinator, like what's the most amount of points I want to realistically give up in a game where I still think I can give my offense a decent chance to win? I'm thinking it's like 17 to 21.
Yeah.
17 to 21. Like if I give up 17 to 21 points a game, I'm happy. If I give up any more than that, ugh.
Basically less than anything less than a touchdown a quarter.
Right.
14, 28. I mean, 24 would be on that line of, okay, you have to have if Christian McCaffrey was here, I would think they would be more okay with letting up 24 points than they would be 20, 21.
I would agree.
I think McCaffrey can swing a game 4 to 5 points in terms of scoring. But I mean, 21 points, that's not a bad showing for a defense in the NFL.
No.
Be excited to see how they both move on.
Yeah, and to be fair, like the Panthers looked like even though Chuba Hubbard was really good, Panthers looked like they sorely missed Christian McCaffrey because Sam Darnold made some mistakes. I mean, welcome to the Eagles, Darius Slay. It's finally nice to see big play Slay actually making some plays for this defense. So
Crazy.
2 interceptions by him, 1 by Steven Nelson. Just a good performance overall for that defense. Defense tended to get home. Although I am really getting annoyed with Fletcher Cox. Like there were quite a few plays where I noticed that he just gives up right away.
That's not good.
And look, I understand that double teams are hard to break out of, but Aaron Donald does it, my brother. Like if you want to be one of the better defensive tackles in this league, you need to be able to shed double teams. Like if you're and look, you can say like, hey, maybe we shouldn't expect that out of him. He's our highest paid player. We need to expect that out of him.
Yeah, but I mean, Aaron Donald's like a 5-time defensive player of the year.
Right. Maybe Aaron Donald isn't the best example, but like
other elite pass rushers have gotten double teamed and still had good seasons.
Right. And so, I'm seeing it out in Javon Hargrave. Hargrave looks like a freaking stud for us right now. But Fletcher Cox needs to step up, especially with Brandon Graham being out for the rest of the year. So
yeah. All right. Next game, the London game. Seemed like a stinker, kind of a stinker. I don't know. Everyone was making up. I mean, welcome to the NFL, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, no kidding. Like,
but everyone made it seem like the Falcons kicked the shit out of the Jets. I mean, they won by 7.
The Falcons beat a team they should have beat, and that's probably the only team that they should beat all year. If we're being
I mean, I just woke up. I think I woke up at around 9:30, and everyone was freaking out. Oh, the Falcons are rolling, and yeah, they were up 23 at the half, but then didn't do any 22-3 at the half, and then they scored only 7 points in the second half. Like, I don't know. People are like, oh, it's a good game. I'm like, I don't really think it is. I think it's just 2 bad teams playing each other.
I would agree.
But Kyle Pitts, I know a lot of people were excited about that. Kyle Pitts having an elite game, and it's good if you're a fantasy owner of a rookie tight end, which you shouldn't be, but whatever.
I mean, how much of that, too, is because Calvin Ridley was out? Like, which, by the way, that totally screwed me. Because I forgot that game was early, so by the time I woke up, I didn't have time to change my lineup, and Calvin Ridley laid me a fat goose egg.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That happened to me. I checked my last lines for around 10:45. Everything was good. Apparently, I never got the notification that Dalvin Cook was out.
Yep.
So I started Dalvin
got
Cook
the notification
in a couple
to change him, so I was happy about that.
I was like, I did like a daily against my brother, and I would have won if I put him in. And on the one other year-long team that I have Madison, and I would have just swapped them in, and I would have won that one. And I'm like really glad that my notifications worked.
Yeah.
So that was cool because it said all week he was questionable. I was like, okay, I'll take a look. Take a look at 10:30, 10:45. Still in. I'm like, all right, cool. Must be good to go. No.
God, there's always like one or two players where that's like the whole season for them, where like all season it's like they're a game time decision. They're a game time decision. I'm like, at that point, just stay out for a couple weeks, rest up your injury, and come back. Like I would rather just know for a fact I have to play a significantly weaker player than have you just go out there and possibly just lay a total goose egg because you had to risk it.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, any more to say about Falcons Jets? I didn't think we'd have much to say about it. Now this game, this game will definitely not be a forgetful one for Packers fans going forward. The Green Bay Packers went to Cincinnati to face a pretty hot Bengals team, and for the most part, the game was pretty close.
It was a good game.
Unfortunately, despite a good Aaron Rodgers performance, despite a really great Devontae performance, 200 yards receiving is insane, even if you are one of the best receivers in the NFL. But that game is going to come down to the fact that no kicker in that stadium that day could make a freaking field goal to save their life. Like Mason Crosby reverted to the Mason Crosby of what is that, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah,
he was
when he
really
missed
struggling and like just like that close to being cut.
Well,
like,
not even that. I remember that. It wasn't even like him being inconsistent. He was very consistent, except the Detroit Lions game when he missed like 3. He did the same thing. He missed like 3 or 4. And then since then, he had been on the money no matter what ever since then. So, but name the last. I mean, the Packers put in a hell of a performance. Like, Rodgers has over 300 yards passing. Aaron Jones had over 100 yards rushing. Devontae had 200 yards receiving. Like,
that offense is cooking.
And they only scored 25 points. Ridiculous.
Yep.
You're not going to tell me there's that many teams who can have a 300-yard passer, a 300 or 100-yard rusher, and a 100-yard receiver, and only score 25 points.
Well, and I think that just goes to show that, like, hey, this Bengals team is a lot better than a lot of people think. I don't know if I'd call them legit, but like Burrow looked really good. Like Burrow played like he should have won that game. Like it should. Like
he should have. He should have. The kicker makes it. They win.
Yeah, 100%. Both sides. Kicker makes
multiple
it one
times.
time. They win.
They missed what, 5 in the last 4 minutes or something.
5 freaking field goals.
3 by Crosby, 2 for McPherson. Like
unacceptable.
I think they're there. The Bengals are at the point where they're going to compete. They're not going to get rolled over by the Browns.
No.
The Steelers. I mean, they don't look. The Big Ben still looks bad.
I'm so out on the Steelers, man.
Yeah, like the Bengals are young, up and coming. They're the hot thing in that division. I mean, Lamar's Lamar. We saw that last night, and Lamar Jackson is just a freak. But
oh my god,
I think they're starting to build something that can begin to compete. I don't know if they finish above 500. I think they're close this year. 7-10. Looks like they can maybe 6-11, whatever. But I mean, I've said it before. I've sung Joe Burrow's praises. I'm glad that he's playing well.
Do you think they have the right coach? Because honestly,
I couldn't tell you who their coach is.
Zach Taylor.
Oh.
The fact that you couldn't tell me who the coach is probably an indicator of a no.
I probably would have gotten there, but I don't know why I immediately thought Zach Taylor was Cleveland and not Cincinnati. Probably because they're both Ohio and Stefanski. That's probably why they're both younger guys, but I probably could have gotten there.
Well, and if I remember correctly, when that coaching hire carousel came around, like he was like the nobody of the group. He was like the guy who I can't even remember his name. The guy David Culley or whatever, the guy in Houston. Like he's that guy. The guy that like everyone else is gone. No one wants the Bengals job. Here you go, Zach Taylor. Like,
but I'm pretty sure we even talked about in the offseason, like, what coaching opening would you have wanted? I said Bengals have to be up there. They have, like, maybe not top, but you already have your franchise quarterback.
Yep.
You had, as long as he's healthy, a good running back. You had a core before Jamar Chase of decent receivers, and now Jamar Chase is looking like I will never say it was the correct decision. I think it was the correct decision for Joe Burrow in that relationship because clearly they have a connection. Like he's got what 5 touchdowns in 5 games.
I mean, it's great that it worked out, but like if it didn't work out, that's like, general managers are getting fired over that decision, kind of thing. So they're just lucky it worked out.
So logically, it still doesn't make it's not the right call, but it's working out. It was a bad call that turned okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. They still should have put Sewell. Yeah. Sewell looks like an amazing player as well, but like
or Slater out of Northwestern.
Yeah.
But Jamar Chase looks like a bona fide potential number 1 target. He looks good. I mean, but let's keep going to the NFC North.
Oh, real quick. I did just get my Packers season ticket waiting list number. I am on the season ticket list. 12,581 away, baby.
Nice.
I will see that in my lifetime, unlike kids who were put on today.
Really?
Oh yeah. Here, hold on. Let me look up the waiting list number while you're talking. It's like some ridiculous amount.
Oh, I love that. All right, so we can move on. Get out, kind of stay in the Midwest. We don't really have to talk much because both of these teams were just a bunch of stinkers. The Vikings and the Lions. What is it?
It is at 137,000 right now.
I shouldn't be surprised, but I am surprised it's that high.
Yeah. How many people live in Green Bay? It's not even 137,000. I don't think 137,000 people live in Green Bay, right?
I got it.
Yeah, it's only 104,777. More people are on the on the Packers season ticket list than live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's insane to me.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah. So, wow. So to be 12,000th on that list,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely really good. Definitely investing in that. I will sell to friends and family at a nice rate.
I am friend. What do you know?
Oh,
yeah. Actually, part of my family is extended. Part of my family has season tickets from when they played at County Stadium.
Ah, okay.
And so they have that old package where it's like they get 5 games, I think.
Yeah,
4 or 5 games. It might be half because I think they used to split seasons between Green Bay and Milwaukee. So yeah, they get like half the games, and then I think they're a part of that list where they get priority on to buy their tickets for each playoff game.
Yep.
At face value, I believe though.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so like. I remember when I went to a game a few years back, and like we ended up paying like well over $200 for those tickets, and like face value is like $40. Yeah. Like it's insane.
But I honestly like. I mean, we can kind of waste a little bit of time here before Davis because we got a while, but I mean, maybe it's because we're biased and we're from Wisconsin, but Lambeau is like a very special place. Like,
Lambeau, like I'm not a Packers fan, but Lambeau is freaking awesome. Like
right.
I love going there. Like the vibes are great. I wish I was more welcomed in my Eagles gear, but I digress.
It's like a Wrigley Field, which I mean I'm a Cubs fan, so but fine. If you don't agree that it's like Fenway.
Fenway, I like Fenway more than Wrigley Field. Sorry.
It's whatever. You gotta embrace the suck at Wrigley Field. Who doesn't love peeing in a trough? The big house. I mean, I'm honestly saying a lot of my own teams, but I mean the big house. It's up there with legendary places. What else?
I mean, it's like Madison Square Garden for basketball.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry. Yeah, for basketball.
Or any event, really.
Yeah, really. Madison Square Garden's like the premier event hub in the nation.
I feel like the place in Vegas is starting to get there just because of all the UFC events.
Yep.
They're starting to put on more like premier events. I'm sure there's there's a couple like either where Manchester United plays or somewhere across in Europe that has that.
Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I'm like I know there's one over there.
Yeah. Thanks, Ted Lasso.
Right. I think some people I've only been outside, but like Cameron Indoor, it's just because it's not an arena. It only fits under 10,000 people, which is ridiculous. But yeah, so I feel like Lambeau is just, like I said, it's one of those special places where it's a cool fucking place to be. Like,
Oh yeah,
the
100%.
whole
I mean, for actual games, I've had the privilege of going twice, and
Mhm.
and both times, very awesome experience. I did go
Yeah,
once as a Packers fan back in like 2007 when I really didn't care about football all that much.
right.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
and there's really no bad seats because similar to the big house, it's all bleacher seating.
oh yeah, 100%.
So I think that's why that was another reason why I always appreciated Michigan, because there is no bad seat. You're not worrying about an obstructed view. Like, it just gets higher. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
yeah. I mean, Packers have one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, and it's because Lambeau is like this like
you.
El
Oh,
Dorado style mecca
oh,
that
let me.
like.
Okay, I was on Twitter and I got into it with someone because he was disrespecting the state of Wisconsin. He was claiming that Milwaukee. Someone tweeted about like Milwaukee having the potential to win the NBA Finals, win a Super Bowl, and like win the World Series because the Brewers was about postseason.
Mhm.
And this jackass from California was saying like, "Oh, Milwaukee and Green Bay, they're not even that close. That's like comparing LA and San Francisco." And I'm like, look in here, you little California fuckface. Green Bay used to play here in Milwaukee. We are a majority like Wisconsin sports fans. We don't have other big cities. We have Madison, but not professional sports team. We have Milwaukee, and then we have Green Bay, who used to split time and play in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and Green Bay is only there because like they started as one of the oldest teams.
Right. They're
Like,
like that's like the original six in hockey or whatever.
right. Yeah. I
Look,
mean, like,
and this
I
guy
mean,
was just he's
he's
like,
got
oh,
a
it's like
point where, like, yeah, like, it's not like all of our three major sports teams are in one large city. Like,
right.
Wisconsin is pretty unique in that, but like, you know, Wisconsin is not nearly as big as California. Like, the vibe in Los Angeles versus the vibe in San Francisco are two very different things. Whereas
Right.
the vibe in Milwaukee and the vibe in Green Bay is still different, but not as different.
It's more of a Wisconsin vibe than a city vibe. We have
Right.
I would say a lot of people from I think I experienced this a little bit in Michigan when I lived there, but like Wisconsin has pride in Wisconsin. LA says I'm from LA. Well, I'm just from Wisconsin. Like, it doesn't really matter where I'm from. We're all kind of the same.
Right. Well, and I feel like so many people, like a lot of people who instill that pride in Wisconsin have that because they were born and raised here. Where I
Right.
feel like maybe not a lot of people, but like a good chunk of people who live in LA, like moved out to LA for better work opportunities or to chase their dreams. So like
Right.
California doesn't feel like as homey as
Right.
as like any place in the Midwest, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Like, and his point was because, well, they're like 2 hours apart. I'm like, yeah, but you try to get 2 hours away in LA and you're in the same city. You get 2 hours away, you're 2 hours north. We don't have that traffic. Like,
mhm.
but I think it's just a different culture because even Illinois, people don't really give a shit that they're from Illinois. People don't really give it. Ohio might be like this. Ohio's a bunch of crazy people that they're from Ohio.
Yeah.
It's
I
similar to
never
like
understood
Texas
why
tried
Ohio got two teams other than like the
on the.
old.
Yeah, I mean, because one literally. Oh, yeah, that is really weird. But Cincinnati is a lot more south than people think it is.
Oh yeah,
And Cleveland's right. I mean, obviously Cleveland's right on the lake,
right on
but
Lake Erie. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's much more. It's Cincinnati. You still throw a stone, you're in Kentucky. So it's much more of like a not. It's much more of a southern
I know what you're
vibe.
trying to say.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah.
I have. I mean, my company's headquarters is in Cincinnati, so I was just there last week, and it's much more a southern drawl, southern hospitality. Not that Midwest isn't, but it's almost very clear difference. Like Cleveland, very Midwest. Like Pittsburgh, Detroit, very rough and tough, and since he's kind of like
Blue collar, like
yeah, more proper, if you could put it that way.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's just, we have more of a state pride, like Ohio, Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know any more, but Texas
well, that was
Ohio's
social geography with me and T-Bone.
Yeah. Where do our sports fandom come from, and why are people from California morons?
Or just, have that I'm better than you style attitude that nobody but California
blow your fucking fault line up and go out into the fucking ocean, you piece of shit.
Wow. All right. Well, T-Bone's got something against California for sure.
I love California.
Yeah.
All right.
Get out there. Do you want to get out there once?
Yeah. Okay. You have anything to say about the stinker Lions-Vikings game?
I mean, the only thing I really have to say is after seeing Dan Campbell cry for his team, like, I'm even more convinced now that he's the right coach for you're muted, by the way. That Dan Campbell is the right coach for Detroit, and that team is just freaking snake bitten right now. Like they should have won 3 of those games, to be completely honest with you. Like,
because that offsides against Baltimore, they should have won that game. Game should have been over.
Right.
They should have won yesterday or Sunday.
Yeah.
And then whatever other game they got screwed out of, which could have been whatever you call it, a coin flip. They should at least be 2-3.
Right. And losses are losses, and they are what they are. But like right now, like I would rather have a less inexperienced Dan Campbell like showing pride and like, the biting kneecaps thing will get laughs or whatever. But like, I think he has a better chance of really winning over that locker room than Matt Patricia ever had, even though Matt Patricia was
100%.
Like way more of a highly touted coaching prospect at the time.
He was like the Robert Saleh of last year of being hired. He was like, he's the defensive coach of this coaching carousel. You want Matt Patricia, you want Robert Saleh. And it's like, okay, well, it hasn't translated yet for Saleh. I'm just saying Patricia was that like defensive minded coach. And I feel like, I know Dan Campbell played tight end, but he almost has like a defensive coordinator's like mindset of
100%.
just rough and tough. I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, he's got that like Vic Fangio, Bill Belichick style of like
Vrabel.
Yeah. Honestly, that's who he reminds me of most is Mike Vrabel. 100%. But yeah, I mean, they'll get over the hump. It's just,
it might not even be this year. Like,
no.
I would still attest there are teams that are 1-4, 2-3. Welcome.
Here he is.
Here he is.
I will switch you over to.
There you go. There you go.
And all is right with the world.
Oh yeah,
but I disagree.
So if you hadn't heard, we're talking about Lions Vikings, and I'm about to say that I would rather have the Lions and Dan Campbell than a couple 1-4 or 2-3 teams. The team just feels snake bitten. Kyle, what's your take? Go.
Jesus. Hi, I've just turned on the computer, so
I'm giving you crap. You don't have to give us any answer. I'm just giving you shit. I want to see you freak out a little bit.
You guys
I can't wait to see the press conference after the Lions get their first win. I'm gonna
cry.
So freaking happy for Dan Campbell.
He cried after a loss.
Yeah,
I know, and I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see.
Nothing seems disingenuous about him, and I really don't know if it's just because like everything felt disingenuous about Matt Patricia. So like to see just two starkly different.
Oh, that's
things.
Not good.
What was your guys' random question today?
We didn't do it because we didn't want to do it without you.
Yeah,
okay.
So we just been getting into the rundown.
Okay.
We went off on a weird geography tangent about sports stuff like that.
About
London?
how like Wisconsin. No, about how Wisconsin has more of like a state pride than it was the potential of all 3 major sports in Wisconsin winning a championship. This was like a couple days ago before the Brewers decided to never hit the baseball.
They're tied right now, 4-4.
Are they really?
They were up 4-2. So what do you know?
They were also up 2-0, and then it was 2-2. Then it was 4-2. Now it's 4-4.
But my point was, Wisconsin, given where the Packers are, like it's much more of a state pride, and so we kind of got into that about how we're much more like Texas and Ohio and have state pride opposed to, Detroit loves Detroit and they hate Grand Rapids. It's hilarious. But it's much more, we were just talking about how like some certain states and fandoms have like state pride or city pride. So we kind of get into that a little bit. It was cool.
Okay. So
also, fuck California. That's a takeaway from this episode.
Okay, fair enough. All right, now that I'm caught up, what
Yep.
game are we on? Detroit versus the
So
Vikings?
if you want to take over the Broncos Steelers game.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
We're wrapping up.
The Broncos traveled to Pittsburgh, and this game did not go as I thought it was going to go. Teddy Bridgewater had a decent day, but I mean, this was all about Chase Claypool getting 130 yards. But the big takeaway from this game is that Juju Smith-Schuster is out for the entire season now, leaving Ben with another weapon missed. So, I mean, other than Deontay Johnson scoring an early touchdown like he's done in the last 3 weeks, there wasn't much from him. It was mostly the Najee Harris show. I didn't get a chance to check the box score of this. He had a decent day, but Ben didn't throw the ball that much because he can't really. 15 for 25 for 250 yards. I still think after this game, I still think Denver's the better team when you compare these two. But when healthy, Pittsburgh's the better team because that defense is just that good. That's going to keep them in a lot of these games. But I don't know. Both of these teams are just gross.
They have it. I don't know. I like the Broncos' outlook much better than the Steelers. The Steelers have a corpse at quarterback.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys only get through 2 games then?
We talked about.
Well, no, we got to
Thursday.
the Eagles too. We popped the Eagles up there because it was on his list that way.
Okay, so did you guys talk? You guys talked Rams, Seahawks, Jets, Falcons.
Yep.
Vikings, Lions. Anything else?
Green Bay, Bengals.
Okay.
And then Eagles
Packers,
game.
Bengals.
Okay, then I'm right in line then. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Do you think the Steelers have an opportunity to win this division still?
No, 0.
Here's a better question: who is going to win this division?
After last night, you hard pressed to say that the Ravens can't.
I can't wait to talk about that game. I can't wait to talk about that game.
But my guess is still probably the Browns.
Yeah, I mean the Browns are the safe pick, but if the Ravens won, it wouldn't be that surprising. If the Bengals somehow pulled it out and
I wouldn't
really
be that surprised at this point.
It wouldn't be the most surprising thing to happen in the NFL. I think.
What would be more surprising than the Bengals making winning this division is Joe Burrow not getting hurt at some time this year, some point, getting knocked out for a game or two.
Well, all he has to do is chuck it up 80 yards downfield, and Jamar Chase somehow finds the football. So
let's keep that motion going. I like that.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Jamar Chase
part of a
Rookie of the Year
trade
candidate.
He's got to be number 1. He has to be. He has a touchdown in every game.
MVP?
No.
Who's MVP?
Herbert.
Allen.
Still Herbert, you think?
Allen, Herbert, Lamar.
It's definitely not Mahomes.
I can't wait to talk about that too.
I would say Herbert, Allen, Brady.
Brady could still be up there. I think Lamar is going to start vaulting himself into the conversation.
Yeah, if Lamar
Stafford
has a
took a
more
step
games,
back. Yeah.
Stafford took a step back.
I think, probably Herbert and Allen got to be 1, 2.
Kyler.
Take your pick at who's won.
Kyler.
Yeah, but I think his not his downfall, but the knock against him for an MVP candidate is the fact that his defense. It's not the reason they've won games, but they're the highlight. He's the icing on the top of the cake, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. He's good. He's pretty to look at. He's great tasting, but he's not the foundation. If
you
that
like
makes
yourself
sense.
some Kyler Murray?
I love Kyler Murray. I'd eat the fuck out of that.
That is disgusting.
Whatever.
All right.
Well,
Sorry,
next.
I'm not leading anymore. So
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, do you just want me to lead the whole thing? I can do that.
well,
Well,
I
we've
mean,
been doing it for the last 40
it is
minutes.
the Davis
What
Sports
do you-
feud.
That's
so.
fair. Whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that after this podcast.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I think we're gonna nail down a name today.
Nice.
Miami forgot to show up. Well, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. For 3 quarters, they showed up, and then they forgot that there was a 4th quarter of this game. Miami traveled not very far to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and Tom Brady absolutely snapped. 411 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. I think that's the best stat line. I think that's the first time in his entire 22-year career that he's had that stat line.
So he's never had over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
In the same game, correct.
God damn.
Oh, my gosh.
45
know
years old.
I don't know what to say about this guy anymore. He's got the Benjamin Button. That's it.
He'll be done when he says he's done, not a second before, no matter what Max Kellerman says.
He could have a bad season, like say next season, and people be like, well, he could probably still come back. Like he probably just had a bad year. It's fine. It happens. Like
one definite thing that I was wrong about was me and Corey on Sunday buried Myles Gaskin for fantasy leagues. He bounced back immediately.
Yeah.
He's sitting on the bench in one of my leagues. So, I mean, him, what was the other one that I buried? Was Mike Davis for because I'm assuming you talked about the Falcons already.
Yes, sir.
He had another touchdown, so he had a decent day. I mean, I just want to say, hats off to Kyle Pitts. Welcome to the league, dude.
That's what I said.
Welcome to the freaking league. Any other big takeaways from this game other than Tom Brady doesn't age properly?
Antonio Brown looks like Antonio Brown of 5 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Really hope they're due for a stinker this Thursday.
Yeah.
Good luck. It's not going to happen, dude.
A guy could dream, can't he?
The Eagles did pull one out that I didn't expect them to pull out, but they're not doing that against Tampa Bay. I mean, they're going to put up yards.
You want to put a shekel on it?
Just 1 shekel.
1 single shekel. Would you like?
He's already down 10 shekels to me, so
I think.
Yeah, I'm already down. Might as well keep going down.
Just keep burying yourself.
Yeah,
I think Philly will put up points. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Hurts is going to have a good day. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the track meet that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because that secondary is so damaged that a middle of the road capable quarterback and receivers are going to put up yards and points against them. The two Super Bowl teams from last year's both secondaries are terrible. And we're definitely going to talk about the Chiefs because I have a lot to say about them. But moving right along, because I have nothing else to say, because I got nothing on the Dolphins. Literally nothing.
Yep. It's a burn the tape game for them.
Basically. New Orleans traveled to Washington to take on the football team. Jameis Winston put up 279 yards and 4 touchdowns. Did not know his stat line was that good. Heineke looked not good, but your guy doesn't look that good.
He had 1 bad game. 1 bad game out of 5 don't mean shit. If that was the case, Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz would have been bench years ago.
That's like saying
I didn't say bench him. I just said he didn't look
racist
good.
emails. Who cares?
He looked pedestrian.
Did you guys talk about that already?
Not yet. We're waiting for you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What?
The elephant of the weekend, or yesterday, I should say.
Hold my beer.
Got to tell
Never, dude. He had a bad game. I don't know. Their defense is fucking awful, apparently. Wild.
I mean, the only thing you got to say about that game is the Hail Mary. Like, that was kind of cool.
I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, there was a Hail Mary right before halftime, Winston to Callaway.
The fact that Terry McLaurin was not the leading receiver and Adam Humphries is telling you enough about that offense from that day. I think they must have blanketed him quite well because he only had 4 receptions.
Terry McLaurin fantasy owners rejoice.
It's a stat, but it says 11 targets and he only caught 4 of them. So I'm guessing a lot of deflected passes, a few drops in there. Like, it just was not a pretty day all around for Washington. I think I was watching this game. There were opportunities for them to score quite a few times, and it just looked like they couldn't finish off drives. But I mean, this is going to start turning into more of an offensive power team instead of the defensive power team, unless they can figure it out, because they do have weapons. They have Terry McLaurin. They have Antonio Gibson in the backfield. They just got Curtis Samuel. I really liked that pickup for them because he is one of those like gadget guys. Real quick. He can run the jet sweep very well. You can give it to him out of the backfield. You can do anything you want with him. I'm going to say it again. I have no idea what the Saints team is, though.
Still have no idea.
Hot and cold at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they play like this and Michael Thomas eventually comes back at some point, they could be a playoff contending team. But as it stands right now, I don't see them making the playoffs.
No, they're still the 3rd worst team in that division.
Who's the
Falcons?
Does that mean that they're the 2nd best team?
No, Carolina.
You said the 3rd worst team.
You did say the 3rd worst.
Which would be the 2nd best.
They're still the 3rd.
They're the 3rd best?
They're the 3rd. 2nd worst. I don't fucking know.
I knew we'd get it. I knew we'd get it together. We just had to
whatever. Fine. Skip. Next.
I tried to call my upset of the week. It definitely did not come true. The Tennessee Titans traveled to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. This was going to be, I called it to be Trevor Lawrence's first NFL win. He would throw for 300 yards, a couple tutties, a couple interceptions. I was wrong. Instead, it was James Robinson's coming out party.
When did you have that? When did you make that call?
Sunday.
Yeah, right.
On Sunday's pod.
Okay. I didn't listen to that. You're telling me you made that call knowing everything that happened the week before with Urban Meyer.
Well,
That
and
is
I also
wild.
realized that they lost to the Jets. The Titans lost to the Jets last week.
I'm just saying. But you're going to tell me 1 week after Urban Meyer's grinding up on some 21-year-old? Maybe she's 19. I don't know. Like,
allegations aplenty here all of a sudden.
19, still of age. There's no allegations. I'm saying maybe she shouldn't have been drinking in the bar.
That is more of a big fact, but
I'm just saying you took them to upset. You were a psychopath.
Can we say that this is officially the worst quarterback class that we've had in a while?
No,
it's too early to tell. Like,
you think so?
Yeah.
The number one pick has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns,
which we expected. Like,
which I literally said I think Trevor Lawrence leads league interceptions.
I don't know if he leads it anymore. I'm pretty sure Zach Wilson took that lovely stat from him. Trey Lance is only in his third game, so I'll give that one a rest. Justin Fields as well. Mac Jones looks like he doesn't. I don't know if they're not letting him throw the ball downfield or what. He just doesn't throw it downfield.
I think that's kind of game plan-y, though.
Yeah, but it makes it look like a big weakness.
Yeah.
And do you other than Urban Meyer grinding up or not having a girl grind up on her, I don't know, Tennessee still don't know what they are. This whole NFC South is trash.
I know exactly who Tennessee is. Like they run through Derrick Henry, and if Derrick Henry gets shut down, they're gonna lay stinkers against teams they should win.
Right.
It's that simple.
Bingo.
Yeah, and the numbers support it too. 197 passing yards. He only threw the ball 22 times. Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry almost cracked 30 rushes today or Sunday for 130 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's what it should have been. I just thought maybe like coming off of that loss, maybe they'd be scramble brained and without Julio Jones still. I thought maybe Jacksonville could take advantage of something. Obviously, I was wrong. I tried to be bold and I was wrong. That's okay. Moving right along, do you guys got anything else on this game?
Nope.
All right, cool. Moving on to New England taking down the Texans in a much closer game than I predicted. Maybe New England deserves to be 2-3. Are they a good team? Are they a bad team?
They're not good, but they're not bad.
They look like a team led by a rookie quarterback, like hot and cold.
Both teams were led by rookie quarterbacks, though. I'm pretty sure Davis Mills is a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Come on. Like
the man with 2 last names.
Yeah.
Third rounder out of Stanford. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but, third rounder versus,
the first rounder.
Yeah. The 15th overall pick is. I
don't know. There were times at this game that I thought the Texans were going to win the game. But did you guys already talk about how bad kickers are?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That Packer game pained me.
Yeah, we get it. Okay.
They won. You can't be that mad.
I'm not mad. Kickers don't suck.
Everybody that I was around during that Packer game was getting pissed because I picked the Bengals to win that game.
Of course you did, because you like to stir the pot. You're a pot stirrer.
I got to get a big spoon out for that one.
You gotta get the
you guys got anything else on this? The Texans still suck.
No, I hate like all these teams that are left except one. I hate them all.
This is where we start getting into games that actually kind of are getting interesting. The Bears travel to Vegas to take down the Raiders 20-9. Derek Carr was your leading passer with only 206 yards.
Yep.
Justin Fields only threw for. Oh yeah, you're right. He is the definition currently of a game manager. I don't fully understand it. He only rushed the ball for 4 yards on 3 rushes. Andy Dalton came in for a play. The Bears are a shit show still. They won this game. They beat a solid, I would say a good Vegas team. I don't want to call them great because I don't think the Bears are good or great.
I mean, they're 3-2. Like they have a winning record through 5 games. Like
right.
You got to give.
I mean, the Raiders also don't have a coach anymore.
This is also true.
So should we get into that?
Yeah, I was about to say, should we just talk about that right now?
Yeah,
We've been kind of
let's
hyping it up.
Who wants to lead that? Because I don't want to touch that right away.
I mean,
John Gruden is a victim to the good old boys league that the NFL once was. And we learned that if you are in the spotlight and you have said shitty things about virtually every minority group where it can be traced back to you, your ass is going to get fired. Look, opponents are going to say that this is a cancel culture thing, like, oh, he is being canceled, like, freedom of speech, man. Well, the big issue is freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. If you send out several racist emails, several racist, misogynistic, homophobic emails over several years, that is different than, you making a mistake when you are a child, which, by the way, he is not a child. He's a 48-year-old man when he is.
Yes!
Yep.
Yes, I forgot that was his avatar.
Yep. You are a 48-year-old man saying these things, and it's going to come back to bite you. He rightfully should have lost his job, whether he resigned or was Nixon forced to resign.
No, he was forced to resign 100%.
He deserved to lose his job.
Facts.
That stuff, especially with the NFL, putting end racism on the back of helmets and really taking those initiatives to be more inclusive for a larger fan base. And just the fact that, hey, you are coaching the only openly gay NFL player and you're saying all these homophobic things. Like, no. John Gruden, you need to go. Your good old boy mentality is not the future of the NFL. Enjoy, the 4 years that you've coached the Raiders and all that money you made. Good riddance. See you later.
I have a very clear, simple statement that will sum this up. Get fucked.
Yep, get ramrodded at this point.
I mean, Tyler said it pretty well. Like it.
I had a conversation when I posted that. Somebody went against it and was defending Gruden for a minute. I'm not going to name any names because that's unnecessary. But he was saying it was something that was said 10 years ago. I was like, I don't give a fuck if it was 50 years ago. You said it, and you look at the team that you coached. Like Tyler said, he has the only openly gay player on his team. You can't be you delete that, you eliminate that from the past or however you need to eliminate it. But go ahead.
But I'm fully on board. I don't want that to be misconstrued that I'm condoning any of this. I'm just gonna say, in the sense of so for example, if we all go back 10 years, we're all 18 or so, right?
Yeah. I said stupid shit when I was 18, but I was 18.
I also said stupid shit.
Right. So my point is, you go back, so you see 10 years from now, if this was when Gruden, if he was a young coordinator and he was 27, 28, 29, not fine, but okay, he was young and dumb. He was 10 years ago. He was what, 40?
48.
48, yeah.
That's when people want to defend him. I'm like, it's different when someone our age gets shit brought up, or anyone. Say in 10 years and someone's running for office and something comes up they posted on Twitter when they were 16 comes up, because it's going to happen. Whatever.
It happens to current NFL players all the time. Right. The second they're drafted, people go through their Twitter accounts and look for all the dumb shit they said when they're 14 and 15. Okay.
Right. So those are two very different situations. Not saying what should have been, if you say homophobic or racist things when you're 14 or 15, not okay. That's still not okay.
No.
But I am much more willing to believe that you are now 25 to 30 and beyond, and that you've become a better person. I can believe you've changed that. And if you've demonstrated ways to change that. But when you're almost 60, and you said it when you were almost 50, I have no sympathy. You're a fucking racist piece of shit.
And
I hope he doesn't get another job.
Right. I don't want to see him in the analyst desk. I don't want to see Gruden's quarterback camp. I don't want
ESPN won't touch him. ESPN won't touch him.
Yeah, ESPN. Goodness.
No,
Can
they
we also
won't
talk
touch him.
about that?
No, I know.
That
No,
he
I
was
know.
like ESPN's highest paid analyst when he's saying all these things.
Right.
Like, not a good look for ESPN.
But like, yeah, I think I put in the chat. Like, he was the face of ESPN football at that time.
Right.
He had the coach's corner. I don't know if he had Monday Night Football yet, but
he did.
He
okay,
did.
yeah, he had all these prime time roles, and he's yeah.
What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
Get fucked.
So that's 2 weeks in a row that we've had some serious controversy coming from the head coaching position.
Mhm.
And one of them is no longer in position. Do we think Gruden's on his way out as well?
You mean Meyer?
Meyer?
Oh, yeah, my bad. Urban Meyer. How he's not fired or quit yet, I don't know.
It has seemed so. Like, Urban Meyer is the perfect situation. Like, I don't know. Has Urban Meyer been with any of these controversies in the past? But like,
Yes.
this is an example. He has.
Mhm.
Yeah, his judgment, like when he so Urban Meyer, because I don't like Urban Meyer, all the players he would recruit at Florida, like were very questionable people in general.
The Pouncey twins, Hernandez, but then Preacher,
Riley Cooper as well.
Riley Cooper, great example.
Like, and then he goes to Ohio State. He has all these recruiting allegations, all these other problems. But then he also has his offensive quarterbacks coach was like beating his wife, and he covered it up. Like, Urban Meyer and controversy.
Okay, I do remember.
Yeah, Urban Meyer and controversy go hand in hand.
I do want to make a statement real quick.
Go ahead.
College, it's easier to get away with like scandals and
100%.
shitty things. Ed Orgeron still has a fucking job right now. And he literally said he was going to kill someone.
Wait, what?
In his defense, the guy deserved it.
Yeah, but he still said it, and you really shouldn't say that when you're in like that big of a media. You didn't hear about that, Tyler?
No, I did not.
I forgot what the exact statement was. Maybe I can look it up real quick.
In hindsight, it's kind of funny compared to what we're talking about. Him telling someone in a big meeting he was going to kill him is kind of funny.
Was he like joking around?
No, I don't think so. It didn't. I don't recall it being like
I just tried to picture Ed Orgeron with his like ridiculous Southern drawl.
Go Tigers.
Go Tiger. What'd you say?
I'm gonna shove your head
You like
in
to
the
see
cheese
homos
grater.
naked? What? What can you repeat? Yeah, that's cool. You like to see homos.
It was
naked.
on his
That's
radio.
fine.
It was on his radio show. That's what it was.
So
anyways,
the line exactly was that we have a fishing hole for people like that.
Yeah.
We have so with the Urban Meyer thing, back to the Urban Meyer thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's already kind of blown over a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you, John Gruden.
Yeah, he came out like, that's the news cycle, right? There's that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where like they do the bad thing with Wolf Cola and Boko Haram, and they're just like, you just need another bad story to come out. Just
I keep seeing the same meme over and over and over again. It's a picture of Urban Meyer pointing like this, and it's like, did you see what Gruden did? Did you see what Gruden did?
We talked about that at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's just like now I think the right move probably should have been getting rid of Meyer, but Shad Khan wasn't going to do that, and now he can say, well, he didn't do what Gruden did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now even Shad Khan kind of has a built-in excuse to be like, well, let's wait till the off season. He didn't do what Gruden did. Blah blah blah. I still think he's gone after this year.
I totally
probably
believe so
agree
too,
with that.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm really starting to believe that. Especially after an 0-5 start. Like, you needed to have shown something by now. Like, you needed to show what Dan Campbell has shown if you're going to go 0-5,
Mhm.
and he just hasn't.
Yeah, there's a good way to be 0-5 and a really fucking bad way.
No kidding.
You ain't lying there.
Oh.
Back to the slate of games. We had one of the more entertaining games. We'll get to a couple more topics other than just the games. We'll sprinkle in topics as we're going through the slate. The Cleveland Browns traveled to LA to face the Chargers in one of the best shootouts that we've seen all year. It just turns out that the way to beat the Chargers is to have a really good running game, because that's
They
what
didn't beat the Chargers.
No, I understand that, but like that's
Oh.
the MO on how to score on the Chargers. They have a really good secondary. They have Derwin James, Jones, is it what the hell?
Question. Do you have any idea on how to stop Justin Herbert? Because I think that's the better question. Because the answer, no.
No, the answer to that question is no.
A lot brighter. My camera just got a lot brighter.
Yes, it did.
I don't know why. I'm gonna change that again.
I
didn't change shit. My brightness just goes up. What the fuck?
Do you think Justin Herbert's the front runner for MVP?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, you guys kind of convinced me at this point. Like, if it's going to be anybody, it's probably Herbert. But I think so far through 5 weeks, like, this is the most unsure I've felt.
Yeah, that's fair.
MVP
I think it's a two-headed race currently.
Him and Allen?
Him and Allen. I think it's a two-headed race.
I think if
Brady can put up a couple more weeks like he did this past weekend, he might be able to put his hat in there. But I think it's just a two-headed race right now.
Yeah, I mean, does Brady get the LeBron syndrome where, like, why are we going to give it to LeBron?
Probably.
We're not going to give it to the guy who just won the championship just because, I mean, yeah.
You can't.
But this is probably the first time in more than 5 years that you could actually say Brady, like, Brady always has a great year, just like how LeBron always has a great year. But statistically, Brady is actually better or equal to his younger competitors, which usually LeBron is like lacking in, say, has 6 less points than KD or something, or like he's on pace for yards, he's on pace for touchdowns. He's not like lacking really anywhere behind any of these guys, which is phenomenal at 45.
So I don't think the answer to this question is on either of these two teams, but I'm curious to get an answer from you guys. Yeah. I think we all still agree that Derrick Henry is the best running back in the league.
Yep.
No.
When healthy, it's Christian McCaffrey, and I don't think it's close.
But that's he's not healthy. He can't stay healthy.
I know. But pure talent-wise, you're saying right now, today.
Correct.
Yes. I will take slightly less talent and a healthy running back over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So past Derrick Henry, who's the second best running back in the NFL?
McCaffrey.
No. This year alone.
So take out like McCaffrey and Cook because they've both been hurt a couple times.
Cordero Patterson.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I would say Kamara or Chubb. Probably Chubb.
I'd go Chubb.
But I would probably say Chubb.
Maybe Aaron Jones.
As a pure running
Aaron
back,
Jones is really good.
As a pure running back, but I don't want to knock Chubb for having Kareem Hunt as his running mate because A.J. Dillon looks really good as Aaron Jones' running mate too. I think A.J. Dillon complements Aaron Jones much better than Jamal Williams did.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So we keep talking about that two-headed monster backfield in Dallas. Zeke, even with that,
no one did. No one brought that up once. We all hate Cowboys here.
I understand we hate the Cowboys, but we said it on prior episodes.
All right, I know
that they're getting close. They're getting closer to that running back by committee thing.
I'm giving you shit. I know.
He's still the third. Was it the third or the fourth? Third leading rusher in the league. 452 rushing yards. Still,
who?
Zeke.
Right.
And he's third. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns, which is second, tied for second in the league. I think you can make an argument for Zeke, but I think the answer is Nick Chubb is the second best running back in the league.
Yeah.
It also helps that now, instead of Zeke having the best offensive line, I think the Browns have the best, at least rushing offensive line in football.
They have for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Could you imagine Derrick Henry?
That's honestly why Chubb has looked so good. If we're being
could you imagine Derrick Henry behind that offensive line? The offensive line of Tennessee.
It wouldn't change. Derrick Henry, except Derrick Henry would go for the same amount of yards. He just wouldn't get touched. Exactly. Now he just stiff arms 8 guys. He gets the same amount of yards.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It was a fun game to watch. I like it. That was almost as fun as watching the Rams Saints, that game a couple years, like 2-3 years ago on like Sunday night or Monday night. That was like an absolute shootout. And it was super fun to watch. I kind of got this was like the great value version.
You have a possible MVP candidate in this game.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
All right. Moving on to the next game. I don't have much to say about this game. I don't think many of you guys are going to have much to say about this game. The Giants travel to Dallas, Jerry World to take on the Cowboys. They get bludgeoned 44-20. Dak put up 300 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. Zeke had another great game. The only thing I will say about this, Kadarius Toney, hats off to you. 10 receptions for 189 yards.
Looks like a dude.
He looks like a dude. He does. If he is available in your fantasy matchups,
He probably is.
Not gonna lie, I almost
He
guarantee
probably
he's
is.
sitting there. I might even go pick him up because my receivers are not looking good. The only thing carrying my team in my league is 3 players: Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, and Austin Eckler.
I'm just gonna pick him up in our league just to piss you off.
Are you?
Oh, by the way, guys, I lost in one of my fantasy leagues because I tied the dude, and we only do single points, so we don't do decimals. And so the tiebreaker is bench players, and the fucker sat Lamar Jackson.
Oh, that's
so I
funny.
lost because he had Lamar Jackson on his bench.
So funny
in my Yahoo league, I lost by 0.01 points.
I had a guy in in my work league. He set 3 players. They had more points than his 9 starters combined.
That's always the worst.
He sat. I will tell you, because this was one of the weirdest things I have ever seen in my life.
While you look that up, I'm going to go
He
put my waiver wire in for Kadarius Toney.
He sat Tom Brady.
Over.
Patrick
Who'd he
Mahomes.
start?
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Patty Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why would you have both of them? Jesus.
He sat Mike Williams, who had 36.5 points.
Over. I need to hear the overs.
Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. You're probably not gonna bench Keenan Allen for Mike Williams at any point. You're not gonna probably start 2 Charger wide receivers.
And DJ Moore's look good. So
yeah.
And then he also sat Williams too.
Antonio Brown.
That one's rough. That one I'm not surprised.
That one you could have put over DJ Moore. So his 3 players scored 40, 76, 107. His 3 players on his bench. His starting team scored 94.
Ugh. I'm mad at myself too. I benched Lamar Jackson too in one of mine.
Stupid.
Darnold was starting to look good, and I didn't think
for Sam Darnold.
That's
I
funny
did.
though.
I did.
Funny.
I did because I thought Indy's. It was looking good for most of that game. It was looking good for most of that game.
Going into last week, that was a fine argument.
He was also going against Philly's defense. He was also going against Philly's defense, and Philly's defense is not anything to write home about.
Right.
I thought the Colts defense was going to do better than the Eagles defense, and obviously I was wrong because Sam Darnold isn't the quarterback that we were hoping he was going to be this year.
He had a bad week. He had one bad week. Relax.
That's fair. No, that's fine. But he was showing tendencies of that Jets Sam Darnold this past week.
1 out of 5.
They agree. I'm agreeing, but we have to critique him. It's what we do. We have to critique him because it's what we do.
You critique him and go, "Oh, he's shitty now." No,
I did not say he's shitty now.
It's just like we have to critique the Cardinals while
we're not. There's nothing to critique. Go ahead. What do you got to critique? Undefeated, only team in the NFL.
The secondary's still not elite.
Cliff Kingsbury is still a bad coach.
Oh, fuck
Doesn't matter. They're undefeated.
Fuck off.
Jesus
Christ.
Thank you.
No,
now
don't worry. I got you.
I'll
at least get you for that.
Move. Team goes undefeated.
Okay, time out. If their defense is so bad, why did they only give up 10 points?
To a rookie quarterback in his second start?
Okay, what's your point?
Against a team that has no running backs?
They never have a running back. That's a moot point. They haven't had a running back since Frank Gore.
You're right. They don't have a bell cow, but they're on their 8th string running back. Come on, Tebow.
That is the story of the fucking 49ers.
Trey Lance was their leading rusher, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, I know.
Elijah, they're leading. They rushed, other than Trey Lance running the ball, they ran the ball 12 times. One was with a running back. One was with a fullback.
Okay. Well, if that,
and the other 10 were running back, so they ran the ball effectively 10 times.
Well, if you were the Eagles, that would have been triple the production from the
100%, and I would have been ecstatic.
So they have a great running game. I don't know what to tell you. In comparison, what else you got to critique? Because
moving on, no, not moving on. We're moving on to your team, Tebow. We're moving on to your team. Talk about the game. Talk about the game.
Kyler Murray is the best. sometimes.
He
DeAndre
had
Hopkins
he took a
is
step.
great.
He hurt his MVP candidacy this week.
No, he did not. He did not turn the ball over, and he still threw for almost threw for 300 yards and a touchdown. And
he almost threw for 250. He threw 239. That is not almost 300 yards.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a little blurry. It looks like 299. My bad. It's very small.
D-Hop had one of his D-Hop game. Christian Kirk came back. Yeah. Christian Kirk came back down to fantasy normalcy.
Right.
Rondale Moore is finally getting targets. Like I like the Cardinals. I thought this was going to be a higher scoring game because I didn't think Arizona knew what Trey Lance was going to bring to the table.
Right.
I don't know. It's San Francisco is going to be that the whole year. They're going to be that weird team that's like, well, what if they actually had a capable running back, because they just don't right now.
We've been saying that since Frank Gore has left. We played this carousel of who's running the ball for San Francisco ever since Frank Gore left years ago. Like
if Mostert could stay healthy, he is easily their number one guy, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy since the Super Bowl run.
But even going into the season, people were drafting Trey Sermon over Mostert, and Mostert was healthy at the beginning of the season.
And Mostert was also the starting running back. I drafted Mostert.
And then Elijah Mitchell was the highest picked up guy. They go through 8 running backs a year. I don't know why people are continuing to be surprised by this. Like,
I'm going to say again, I didn't know they had Travis Benjamin. I didn't even know he was still in the league. I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. San Francisco's offense is predicated on the run game. The fact that they don't have a running back, it shows
ridiculous.
because and especially when Jimmy G's not throwing the ball.
Yeah.
All right, my first casualty. It only happened for the first time. I'm doing good.
Oh, yeah.
When Deebo Samuel is your number one receiver, I think he is a good receiver. I think that's why they keep going through so many receivers, though. It's because they don't have that regulatory bell cow, I guess would be the best way to put it. Because
what do you mean by that?
They don't have a solidified number one guy.
I think it's Deebo Samuel.
Well, yeah, now it is this year, but before this year,
I thought you were trying to say he doesn't count. I'm like,
no. I'm saying before this year, they haven't had a legitimate number one guy. Because who was it last year?
Brandon Ayuk.
Kendrick Bourne was there.
It's not fair because Kittle is their number one.
Yeah. Who's hurt? So it's tough. It's a very damaged San Francisco team.
Yeah.
So I mean, hats off to Arizona. You got the win, but I think they should have won this game by more. And I think that's why Buffalo, in a lot of power rankings, I've been seeing Buffalo sitting ahead of Arizona, because all Buffalo's been doing since that Pittsburgh game is just handing big loss after big loss to every team they've gone up against, including the Chiefs, which
Buffalo
we don't know.
also beat Kansas City. San Francisco hasn't looked like the team that they were supposed to be.
Yeah, but nor has Kansas City. They're sitting at 2 and 3.
Kansas City still has, the quarterback they started the year with.
Shall we talk about that game?
Now they don't have them, but they had their starting running back going into that game.
Shit. The Chiefs, we're going to start talking about that game now. The Bills went to Kansas City, and honestly, they made the Chiefs look really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that they just beat a good team. The Chiefs looked good against LA. And that's why I don't have the Chargers, as high up on the power rankings. You'll hear my power rankings in a little bit. I don't have the Chargers anywhere near what the Buffalo Bills are doing, because the Bills made the Chiefs look really bad. And I heard a stat and I could not believe it. So you guys remember the Greatest Show on Turf, right?
Yes, sir.
I think it was St. Louis at the time.
Yep.
Yes.
St. Louis Rams, they were averaging 7 yards per play.
Okay.
The Chiefs are allowing 7.1 yards per play. So I'm telling you that the team, what we think of one of the greatest offensive teams of all time, was averaging 7 yards a play. The Chiefs are giving up on defense 7.1 to every team this year. That's what they're on average for this the 5 games this year. So that is how historically bad this defense of the Chiefs are right now. And I don't care who the hell you have at quarterback there. You're not going to win many games with a team that's allowing that many yards. You let the Eagles throw all over you. You've now let Josh Allen he only threw the ball. He only completed 15 passes for 315 yards. They only ran, what is that? Less than 50 plays. That is ridiculous. And they still put up 38 points. All of these yards. Like, I can we start talking about that Patrick Mahomes they really figured the league? Has the league really figured him out?
Nope. We're not doing that. That's one of your worst takes I've ever seen, Davis. The dude's a Super Bowl champion. He's an MVP. Fastest to 10,000 career passing yards in his career. Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowler. There's no way Patrick Mahomes is a
what
bad
did
player.
What did you just say about their defense?
Oh, it's historically bad.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that simple. So
that's why
like
they're
saying
losing.
all those years that Aaron Rodgers had a bad defense, he was the worst quarterback, and the teams have figured him out. Like,
no,
throwing
bad take, Davis.
I don't think it's as bad as a take as I've. You guys were giving me shit earlier in the year, though, when I kept on saying that these receivers, they don't have enough receivers, like the depth of receiver. Like, yeah, you can't just toss it up to Tyreek Hill every single play. And when one of these two studs that they have, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, have a bad game, this is what it starts to look like.
But they
Travis
also
Kelce,
lost their starting running back in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're good. You're making an argument for a team that you were just throwing away the argument for the last team we talked about in San Francisco, though.
No, but Kansas City has had a starting running back and has had a presence. Whether it was Sharkandrick West back in the day, Darrell Williams, who's now going to be their starter.
Core memory.
Right. They've had a the same starting running back for the last 2 years, starting this year and last year in Edwards-Helaire. Like, they're not a running back by committee. They never have been. It's just they just put whoever is there, and their guy doesn't usually get hurt. Like, but my point is the team is bad. It has nothing to do with the off. It has something to do with the offense. They've missed a beat. But last night the game was also delayed for an hour, and it was a piss poor conditions. So you take speed away because of weather. The team with speed's going to look bad.
I just think that until they add, obviously, another piece on defense, the two best players on this defense on the Chiefs defense are obviously Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones. Chris Jones didn't play as well. So this defense was cut up, but it wasn't like the running backs destroyed them. Yeah, by committee in total, they got 121 yards. 59 of them came from Josh Allen. So the running backs of the Buffalo Bills are never putting up eye-popping numbers, but like they didn't have to run that many plays to win this game. There was a pick six by Patrick Mahomes in this game. He just had what's that? Yeah,
Micah Hyde, ex-Packer.
Okay, fine. If they figure him out, are you taking any other quarterback in the NFL based on physical tools?
Josh Allen.
No.
I'm taking right now?
Yeah, right
Josh
now.
Allen.
Who doesn't have a Super Bowl win, who doesn't have an MVP behind him.
Doesn't have a Super Bowl appearance. Like,
no, you're right. But
I know.
He's also in his fourth year, and he's he's up
Mahomes
for an he's an MVP favorite right now.
And Mahomes has already done that 2 years prior.
Correct. But
so
right now,
same age.
Right now, with what we've seen through week 5 of this year, I would rather take the Buffalo Josh Allen right now.
I'm saying, are you taking him over any quarterback? I'm saying to start a team.
How long is this franchise? Is it just the rest of the franchise?
What does it matter? It's a 1 year. It's 1 year franchise.
It's a 1 year franchise. I would take Aaron Rodgers probably. I would still probably take Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
probably.
You're missing the point.
No.
You're beating around the bush.
I just gave you 2 quarterbacks that I would take. You asked the question, and I answered the question.
I think you're lying. I think you're lying.
No, I just don't think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league currently.
Just because you're the best quarterback does not mean you have the best record or play for the best team.
Yep.
It means you put up the best numbers.
No.
It means you can lead your team to a victory.
Tom Brady, up until this point, has not led the league in almost any statistical passing category for the last 5 years.
That's also because he didn't get dunked and ran the ball most of his career.
It doesn't matter if you win Super Bowl.
He's the greatest
The problem I have with
time.
Patrick Mahomes, the problem I have with Patrick Mahomes is he still does these stupid no-look passes that are unnecessary. He does these underhanded ones that are starting to look at
getting.
He's
got to think against Kermit the Frog, and just like every time he hears Patrick Mahomes talk,
it scares me. It scares me, okay?
If you want to tell me you hate Patrick Mahomes because of his little brother, perfectly understand that.
I hate Patrick Mahomes because of his annoying,
voice
his wife now, and then his stupid ass little brother. But I do not hate Patrick Mahomes, the football player. Not a chance in hell.
Yeah.
He's like a more refined Brett Favre. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
You
just hate Patrick Mahomes. That's fine. Yeah. You're in denial about that. He would probably try to say he would rather have Jalen Hurts than Patrick Mahomes.
Whoa!
They're the same record. They're the same record. What do you the same record? What do you mean?
Can the Kansas City Chiefs still win this division?
Yes.
Yeah. Can they?
Will
they? No.
Probably not.
Okay. No. I just wanted to clarify real quick.
Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Chargers.
All right.
I still think the Chiefs
Raiders had a chance, but now
I think the Chiefs will still take second place in this division though.
Yeah, because now the Raiders don't have their fucking head coach. Yeah.
Exactly.
And the Broncos are a paper tiger. So
okay, so real quickly we'll talk about the Monday night game and then we're gonna do power rankings and get out of here because I know Tyler's got to get out of here pretty quick.
Yep.
The Indianapolis Colts carried was it a 16 point lead into the fourth quarter?
Yes, sir.
So.
And then their entire secondary got hurt, and it just looked like Lamar Jackson was throwing the ball in almost every single down and had a wide open receiver every single time. It's two things that happened here.
No, they had 24 going into the fourth quarter. Excuse me.
Did they?
Seven in the first quarter, 3 in the second, 12 in the third.
Oh, they were up 16 though.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
okay.
They had 9 going into the fourth quarter.
Is Lamar Jackson a really good thrower of the football?
No.
Nope. He's better than I thought he would be, but
in the top half of the league in throwing the football?
Maybe 15.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe 15.
He's like middle of the road.
Okay.
Like he's not a bad he's better than people give him credit for. I'll give him that. He's better than what people give him credit for. Mm-hmm. But no, he is not a good thrower of the football.
I would agree with that. But putting up 442 yards, obviously when you're down and you're trying to make a comeback, you're going to be throwing the ball a lot more. Right. So you didn't see him running. They also don't have a lot of good running backs. Like who's their number one guy right now?
Either Tyshawn Williams, Latavius Murray.
They only ran the ball 11 times and then 14 times from Lamar Jackson. So technically they ran the ball 25 times, but how many of those were designed Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, but that's literally their offense.
Right. I agree.
You can't really say this was a design. It's Lamar Jackson. They're letting Lamar be an athlete.
So before the massive comeback happened, I did Monday night picks. I always do it with Corey Sparks every single Monday. I now am 3-2, I think, on the year. Yeah, because I made my heart pick instead of the logical fucking pick with the Eagles. Should be undefeated right now. Beside the point, my reasoning for picking the Colts, and I'm sticking with it because their entire secondary got hurt in the second half of this game. Jonathan Taylor was going to have a big breakout game. I thought that defense was going to start coming together. It was in 3 quarters of that game, and then they just went to shit. And fucking Rodrigo Blankenship cost me in fantasy football this week because he can't make a goddamn field goal all of a sudden. The smallest man in the fucking league. Takeaways from Colts Ravens, guys.
Lamar Jackson looks just as legit as he did during his MVP campaign,
if not better.
Yeah.
I still think his MVP was a better statistical year so far, but
he looks good. Be close after this game. It's got to be close though.
Like he's the only one right now who I think he should be in the MVP conversation easily.
Oh, I think he definitely should be in the conversation.
Lamar?
I don't think he's near the top.
No.
I don't think he's near the top of the conversation, but I think he's there.
He hasn't done it consistently.
He's top 5 though right now, right? Like he's got to be in the top 5 conversation.
He's got to be 5.
Okay,
yeah.
so like name off some names.
Allen, Herbert,
Brady,
and Kyler.
And then Lamar. I think you have an argument to interchange those 4 and 5, though.
I don't. One team.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying there's an argument to be made. But I don't think you can put him up against Brady. I don't think you can put him against Herbert or Allen right now.
That's what I'm saying. 5, and probably solid 5.
Oop, Hater just gave up a home run. We're down 1 run.
What?
Fuck yeah, baby! Fuck the Brewers! God damn it. I love this.
Hater gave that up. That's unbelievable. All right. Power rankings, boys. Who wants to start?
Cardinals, Bills, Packers, Buccaneers, Cowboys. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to say that again?
Cardinals.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you said Bills number 1.
Nope, Bills number 2.
Oh.
I'm
Packers.
surprised with one of the teams you left out.
Probably the Browns.
No. God, no. Browns are
Really
3 and 2. Who just beat the Browns? Who just beat the Browns?
Oh, yeah, I guess. I think they're 6.
So, number 1 right now, it's got to be the Bills after that game.
Mm-hmm.
Does not have to be.
Number 2, I'd say the Cardinals. So Bills 1. Bills 1, Cardinals 2, Packers 3, Buccaneers 4.
Somebody finally put the Packers in there after that game?
Come here. I did. I just put them in top 5.
Yeah.
Come here.
And,
I put them 4. Come here.
And Cleveland 5.
Interesting. Okay. I have the Bills 1. I have the Cardinals 2. I have... This sucks. I hate saying this.
Do
The
it.
Eagles 3.
Oh my God.
You're all going to hate.
leave.
No, I'm not going to put them here. Chargers 3.
Okay.
Tampa Bay 4. Dallas 5. I didn't know where those can be shuffled any 3 ways. I
think the top. I think it's like there's a top 6 or 7, and like 3 through 7, you could shift around if you really, really wanted to.
I think 1 and 2 can be flip flopped either way, but I don't think anybody else is 1 or 2. I think it's Buffalo and Arizona, and I don't think there's anybody else who can take 1 or 2. But then 3 through 6 can be interchanged with like so many different names.
This is setting up for a great Cardinals-Packers game in 3 weeks.
I'm very excited for that game.
I'm also very excited for that game. The only reason I couldn't put the Packers in my top 5 this week is because Mason crossbar. That's the only reason this week.
He didn't hit the crossbar once.
But you know what I mean, though. How many missed field goals did he have? 4? 5?
3. Him and McPherson had 5 total.
That's what it was. And the man thought he made the field goal. That was
hilarious.
Classic.
Yeah, that was rough.
You guys got anything else?
No, sir.
Nope.
Okay. Did you guys
Brewers
start
are
with
due up. Yelich is 3rd. Like, his contract should say, like, hey, go win this game for us.
Very true.
Or at least go tie this game for us.
God, nothing. Oh my God, this is. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna have to watch this and watch the Brewers' demise.
Oh, Jesus.
This makes me so happy. We done, boys?
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
For this is Davis Sports View. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube for live content. Spotify. What do you guys always say? SoundCloud?
SoundCloud rappers, bro.
How many views do we need to get T-Bone to do the stay TikTok dance?
Oh, good one. I also said if they review us on any Apple podcast, I will read it personally. So Wonky was saying they should be negative towards me, which I don't really care. That's fine.
They
as long
won't
as
be
they're
because
still 5 stars. As long as they're still 5 stars.
That's very true.
Yep.
All right,
we
for the Davis Sports
bad 1-star reviews because screw you.
For the Davis Sports Feud, we're out of here. For the Davis Sports Feud, I'm Kyle Davis. That's Tyler Wonky. That's T-Bone. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Later.
Wesley Matthews Jr. is over.
What's going on, guys? And we're back with the Davis Sports Feud, and I got my buddy Corey Sparks here.
Crossed up, definitely pushed by Paul George. Everything's a push these days.
I just don't think this offense is going to work very well, especially under a defensive coach like Robert.
But I would still probably take like Najee Harris over one of the wide receivers.